Having us right on this live session. Of course, I'm so excited, right? That even though we at the start we had some sort of technical issues, but currently everything is sorted out, and thank goodness everything is off. It's very fine. I'm more than excited, right, to have Ines with us, and yes, she's our special guest, and of course our speaker representing AthenaDAO, and then a lot of people are really right here with us. Currently, we have over 140 people viewing this now, and of course, we're looking open to have more people tuning in the course of this whole discussion. So, definitely, a lot of people might be, hearing talks and, of course, listening to informations about decentralized science, and they might not have gotten so close to hearing firsthand, right, about particular specific BioDAO, right, that is pushing inclusively, right, and solving a lot, right, as regards, you know, gender equality within health and this particular sector regarding women health, yeah, basically. And today, I think we just have to hear from the horse's mouth, right? And thank goodness Ines with us. And without any further ado, she'll be introducing herself, and then we'll dive right into the AMA questions and answer. Yeah, once again, Ines, you're welcome. Can you just give us a little introduction about yourself? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, David. It's really a pleasure to be here to share with all of you the work that we have been doing at the AthenaDAO. So my name is Ines. I'm one of the co-founders and ops lead at the AthenaDAO. I have been since the very beginning, and basically my background in the past has to do with entrepreneurship, innovation, helping researchers and companies to develop their own ideas and get that to market. I've worked for startups, incubators, accelerators, for the government, so I've done the whole thing with regarding entrepreneurship and innovation. And now I'm very excited to be working on an area, women's health, that I see has a lot of potential, a lot of opportunity, and I definitely feel like the model of the DAO, of AthenaDAO, is definitely the right model to really work on the opportunities of this space. So super excited to be here and to answer basically the questions that will follow.
Yeah, that's actually a whole lot. Thank you so much. That's actually
You
a
are
whole lot.
muted.
Thank you so much for you know, giving us so much to wrap our head around. Because that's a very nice way of starting this whole thing, and definitely I believe people right in the chat room, which I'll definitely be checking with my phone, will be having one or two to say. And I don't know if they want to have questions. If you have any question, you can definitely drop them while this whole discussion continues, and then we hope to attend to them, because this live room is going to be less than an hour. And yeah, we have some questions I think we might need to begin to discuss about, right? And yes, without any further ado, I think we just have to get started. First, can Ines help us with a brief introduction on AthenaDAO? Right, like, what is AthenaDAO briefly? Thank you.
Yeah. I think before telling you what it is AthenaDAO is, I can give you a little bit over an overview of where we stand right now. So what is the problem that we are trying to solve, right? So AthenaDAO was created because women health research traditionally has been overlooked and underfunded. And so basically we got to a place where it's 2023, and still there are a lot of women health conditions that are understudied and misunderstood. We don't have good diagnosis or good treatments for those conditions. Sometimes we are every week I talk with women all around the world that tell me stories of being basically waiting for sometimes more than a decade for a diagnosis, to the end to be told that there's nothing we can do, we just have to deal with it. And we're talking about a situation where basically there's a lot that we still don't know about around women's health. There's a lot that we need to work on to really study and fund more basically more research on this area. So basically, so that's the problem, right? So women's health is overlooked and underfunded. We see that as a big opportunity, and also because women are responsible for 80% of the medical decisions in a household. Women drive a lot of different industries: the beauty industry, the cosmetic industry, fashion, and in healthcare, women play an important role. But again, for some reason, women still, whenever like the health system is not answering the women's needs as it should. So that's like where we start, right? So AthenaDAO was created to really address this issue. We believe there's like a lot of like amazing research out there all around the world in universities, research labs, and centers that has the potential to really impact these conditions that I was mentioning. So our focus is on sourcing, supporting, and incubating women's health research, research that has translational potential. So what this means is we are looking for research that has the potential to actually get to market. Right now, our focus is not on fundamental research, even though we know that there's like a big lack of information data at that stage. But our focus is on finding researchers from all around the world that are really developing research, right, that has the potential to get to market. It has the potential to offer better diagnose, better treatment, and we are talking about can be like a molecule, can be a device, can be like the solution can be different things, but that's what we are trying to do. So basically this is the focus. Something else that like I think the main pillar is the research focus, right? But our second pillar has to do with being a hub, an informational hub for women. We also know that a lot of the times if you go online, there is like so much information, but sometimes it's hard for you to really understand like where to start. A lot of the times the best information is written in a way that us women that don't have a scientific background have a hard time understanding. A lot of the times there's like so many different communications out there that we really don't know who to believe. So we really want to be a source of information that is easily understandable, that is relevant for you, and that comes from the best researchers in the field. To do that, for example, we have launched the our health report, our first women's health report. It was on ovarian aging. That was back in December, and in June or May, we actually launched the second health report that was focused on endometriosis and PCOS. So in these reports, we are really giving a state of the art of the research in these fields. We are also sharing some of the patients' like experiences, also giving a better understanding of people out there about like what's happening in these fields, and and show that there's like a lot to do here, and AthenaDAO can really be a driver of change in this space.
Wow, that's actually a whole lot, and it's for me. I think one thing I've been able to see from the whole AthenaDAO's overview, the vision, the briefing is just how defined AthenaDAO is coming into decentralized science, right? They are not coming to solve everything about decentralizing science, but at least when it comes to women health, the funding, the research, being a hub for women to get informed, right? Even those who have no scientific background, they can definitely leverage on AthenaDAO as a platform and as a place to thrive and get necessary information and education so they can get better in as regards their health life. So I think it's very beautiful to have so much right to solve, and that's a big solution right there. That's because it's a huge problem. Yeah, it's a very huge problem, and I really want to appreciate you all, maybe all of us, right, for contributing our quota to this important sector of human existence. So I think to the next question. Thank you so much, Ines, for making that so detailed and so up at the same time. The next question is now, how is AthenaDAO a DAO? Like, how is it a DAO? Maybe, I mean, yeah, that's what the next question is about. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I think like something, I just want to clarify something. You have mentioned several times decentralized science, right? I didn't like went in depth into that, but decentralized science is a recent movement that where basically builders from all around the world are looking at science, and personally, like I feel like we owe to science everything that's happening right now, right? The fact that we are live from 2 different countries, 2 different continents, actually, to all over the world has to do with science, and has to do with what actually science led us to, like basically got us here, right? So I think like science is definitely, and I also feel like the scientific method is probably like one of the best inventions ever. But I also know that we got to a point where there's like a lot of challenges, right? Funding is one of them. There are areas that don't get funding research that are again overlooked for some reason. There's also the publishing side where there's a lot to do there. There's like a lot of intermediaries. The system is really not built in a way that really fosters better research. So that's something to do there. And also about the ownership of data, there's also a lot of like challenges there. So this side is a big movement that is targeting several different opportunities in science and trying to build solutions, infrastructure, and different models that really help keep fostering science. I think like something that everyone at this side has in common is like a deep passion and a deep belief that science got us here and can take us much further. I think what we are trying to do now is really build the infrastructure and the solutions to get that done. So I'm super bullish on decentralized science, and what we are building is still early days. But if you look, for example, at the DeSci landscape created by Ultra Rare Bio, you really see like the evolution. Like a year ago, there were like just a few projects. Right now, they are much more robust and working in so many different areas. So that being said, so AthenaDAO is a DAO, right? We are a decentralized autonomous organization. We are powered by smart contracts. And basically, I think being a DAO allows us to do a few things. One is we are community owned, right? So everyone has a saying. Basically, it's owned by the community. And I think that's super powerful, because I think a lot of the times, and I was even thinking about this yesterday. I feel like a lot of the times we look at problems, but we feel like our opportunity to make an impact is so far away from what we can do that we just shy away of actually taking action. Here, we actually, every one of us, with our skill set, with our dreams and our energy and enthusiasm, we can actually make an impact directly, right? So I think that's what a DAO allows you to do, and I think that's super powerful. So that's one thing. I think the second thing is like we are able to gather an amazing group of people, again, from all around the world with different expertise. Some are more on the science side, researchers of some of the best research centers in the world, to people that like operators with a marketing, sales, operations background, so which is super important, to people that have experience taking research to market. So we are building this engine that really helps us like source the best research, support that research, incubate that research, and then take it to market. So I think that's super powerful for us, and that's something that DAO allows us to do. So yeah, that's the model that we have.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ines. For me, it's more like rediscovering the superpower that exists in togetherness, which the blockchain, right, leveraging the smart contract allows a DAO, right, to do. And then for me, it's refreshing to see how how super bullish all of us should be on this side generally. And of course, AthenaDAO is one of the easiest entry points to for everyone, no matter who you are. You are a man, you're a woman, in as much you have science, and you have the interest of humanity at heart, because you even made us realize that we wouldn't be here, right, if we have not come so far, right, with scientific discovery and research. And women, of course, they are one important connection to the very future of humanity and existence. So that's the truth. I must appreciate you for bringing so much and stating so much about how AthenaDAO is a DAO. I think we have to go to the third question, and maybe we have to tie it up with the fourth question, which is, what about the token launch? Why the launch? And so, yeah, I think we just have to do that first, because it's quite different with the fourth question. So what about the token launch, and why the launch of the token? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, so on tomorrow, actually, so Thursday, 31st of August, we are doing a token auction, right? So we are using a method called batch auction to allow us to find the market price for the ATH token. This will allow us to better support the research on women's health. So that's why we decided to launch the token, and also gives an opportunity for anyone to really be engaged with the DAO in a deeper way. So that's why we are doing it, and we are very excited to launch this, to get our community involved, and and be able to really keep on working hard and executing our mission. So far, we have done a lot of things. We're able to already support research that we feel very confident about. But I think from next week on, we'll be able to do even more, and I think that gets us very excited.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So it's more like everyone has to see it from the perspective that getting into the auction is also a means to stamp their signature, right? I mean, with AthenaDAO and of course the future of DeSci. So I mean, it's much more purposeful, right? Than it should be more like I'm owning a coin. It's more like there's a purpose in it, and I think that's more exciting, right? To me personally, I'm very, very sincere. So yeah, thank you so much for that. And I think we have to go to the fourth question. How is women's health in need of AthenaDAO? I mean, from the old discussion, we can actually read it, but just give a short briefing on that. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I think I already mentioned it, but yeah, I think that going back to what I've said, like women's health research has been overlooked. We'll look at this area. 10% of the women around the world have PCOS, right? So we are talking about women are half of the world's population. It's very interesting because sometimes I have conversations that people say like, but women are a niche. But it's a very big niche, right? So women is like half of the population. We know that 10% of the women actually have, I think it's PCOS. So we are talking about big markets that are currently underserved. So we are talking about opportunities here to really have a strong impact in the day-to-day life of women all around the world. And I think that's what we are trying to do here, right? It's just like we are seeing this opportunity to really address currently conditions that are not treated well. It takes a long time to get a diagnosis, and we really want to do this. The other day we were having this conversation with one of the researchers that we were able to support, and he was telling us that when he applies to funding, for example, in the European Union, there is no category called women's health.
Wow.
Because like that's not even considered, right? And I think that's the thing. I think like we really need to start looking at women's health as something on its own. Women are very different from men, different to a cellular level. So we really need to look at women as individuals on their own, and really look at all these conditions that are out there, and find ways to better like research and get that research to market. And that's what we are trying to do with the AthenaDAO.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ines, for that. I think yeah, it's every time we talk about women and of course the solution AthenaDAO is bringing, it's continually make us to see how obvious the problem with women health is, and then how we've been somehow maybe I would say insensitive to how deep it is, and how it's a concern, and which, jokes apart, we have to be applaud AthenaDAO for really discovering that, honestly speaking, because I mean, I wasn't basically aware of the fact that in the European cadre, like there was no very called out and specific section that addresses women's health, and it's really, really a concern. It's really, really a deep concern. And yes, I think everyone right here with us here on Binance can definitely agree with this discussion. It's high time we left applauding, celebrating women in whatever area we have, and begin to really focus in contributing to the sustainability of their health, right? With this research and all of that, which AthenaDAO is really on board. Yeah. So I think to the fifth question, which we have to look into, right? So how long is AthenaDAO seeing itself in this high, and what's at the key? Okay, I think you can add the sixth question also. Who are the key players in AthenaDAO? How long is AthenaDAO seeing itself in this high, and who are the key players in AthenaDAO? Obviously, you're one.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically AthenaDAO, so first, like we were formed a year ago, right? So like there were like conversations before. Everything started at DeSci Berlin that happened, I think, in May last year. But then the official launch of AthenaDAO is August 2022. So we are like we are not only a BioDAO, but we are like, and we are not only focused on women's health research, but we really want to be an active contributor to this side. We really want to build this movement, support others to get in on board, as many like researchers, men and women that are interested in science, and really make sure that this is like a relevant movement, because we believe the impact that can have. So we are, so again, as I was mentioning, like we are super bullish on decentralized science. We see ourselves as part of that, as one part of that movement, and we want to contribute as much as possible to the growth of decentralized science. In terms of the key players, so as a DAO, we have like a lot of like active contributors at different working groups. We have a core team: myself, Laura Minchini, Maria Marinova, and Stefan Pinilla. So basically, we have like a core team, a core group of AthenaDAO core that are for members. Then we have like people that are leading the different like working groups, like basically helping AthenaDAO succeed. Because the way we are organized is by working groups, right? So we have Science and Deal Flow working group that is basically it's in charge of sourcing and evaluating women's like the research that we get. By the way, right now we have a call for submissions for PCOS and endometriosis. We are looking the best research in the world on that topic. So feel free to go to our website and submit your application. So that's one thing. Then we have the comms and awareness. You know about this group. So the goal here is to really make sure that people know about the AthenaDAO, right? People get to know us, but also that we create valuable content that people want to engage with and creates value to them. So that's the second working group. We have also an operations working group. We are like still setting it up, but the goal here is to really support the other functions of the DAO, making sure that everything is going well and people are engaging with the DAO, all the processes work well and everything. Basically, there's like a very easy entry point to AthenaDAO. And then the fourth working group is the governance and tokenomics. This was like something that we kick off recently, but that's going to be even more important going after the token auction, because like there's like a lot of governance proposals that we are working on, just to make sure that we have a strong governance foundation for the growth of the DAO. So basically, that's how we work. And again, if you are interested in AthenaDAO and the work that we are doing, if you go to our Discord, you can then find there the contributors form and join. Then we have a call. We tell you a little bit about what we are doing, and then we try to collaborate. So yeah, that's how things work.
All right, thank you so much for making us understand the key players and of course how long-term game, right? AthenaDAO is really into. Meanwhile, yeah, she mentioned the Discord. I would try to bring the link to the chat room on Binance. So if you want to join, you can definitely click the link and then get and find your way there. I think it's important hub for you, yeah, to be in. So I mean, to the next question. Okay, back to the token launch. What is the ticker of the token, like the symbol? Yeah, so just a little for that. Yeah, thank you.
It's the ATH, right? So because like the first words of Athena, so ATH. So that's the ticker. And one important thing, like this token auction is going to happen on the BioXYZ Launchpad platform. We are going to be the first BioDAO to do basically the auction there. So we are very excited to be collaborating. We were very important. We gave a lot of feedback. We were able to build this together. So I think that's going to also be very interesting to you. So something that we really wanted to focus on was that this platform was very user friendly. I think for a lot of people, they never participate in an auction. They don't really know how auction works. So not only we try to create as much content as possible, and we publish that on our newsletter and our Discord, but we really wanted to make sure that the platform by itself is self-explanatory and people know which steps to follow. And I think we were able to achieve that. So yeah, very excited to see people engage with the auction.
All right, thank you so much for talking to us about the token ticker. And yeah, I think it's important we all have learned. So the token ticker is ATH. Oftentimes I used to confuse it with all-time high, but yeah, it's almost same thing, ATH. So yeah, thank you so much. I think we're almost done, and I hope everyone, I want to check the Binance live room, are really getting like say vibed up or encouraged, and of course fired up with learnings, right? And I hope we are really getting excited. I think they are, because the likes rolling in are quite much, yeah, unlike the ones I've actually had on my platform before. Jokes apart, so it's very cool. Thank you so much. Then, so the next question is states that in what way, right, and how does this token launch amplify Athena's DAO vision? Yeah, I think after that we just have one more. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I think before I already answer more or less this question, right? So this token launch will allow us to really support more research. Fortunately, I think we were not necessarily surprised, but we were very happy to see like the amount of amazing research that we're able to that we receive an application. Also, that confirmed that there is a big opportunity here. That funding is not getting to this project. So we were able to get an amazing group of applications, and so we have a lot of projects to support. And so and we're talking about like really high quality projects that can really with such a potential translational potential. So we are very so basically we are able to, through this after this token launch, we'll be able to support those projects and making sure that research gets to ends up in our hands, right? That's what we want to do.
All right. Thank you so much for talking so much to us about how. Yeah, I think in fact before you even go to this point, you've already mentioned how that will definitely give more leverage, right, to continuing, making more impact as regard to research. And then yeah, that's for us, a very very important answer. Yeah, thank you so much. I think for the final question, yeah, I think it's obvious, right? What would you love to say to the audience personally? What is it you want to share? Yeah, it's about 30 minutes straight up of this discussion, and I want to just appreciate it. What is it you want to say to the people, right? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think I really want people to engage with the work that we are doing, right? I think the best way to do that is through Discord. And engagement can mean you join as a contributor in one of the working groups that I mentioned, but also engagement can mean that you are actively contributing to Discord, to the specific community by sharing relevant content on women's health that might be interesting for other members. You also spread the word about women's, the importance of really look at women's health, and the importance of supporting more research. Right now, of course, we have our token auction starting tomorrow. So feel free to join us on Discord, check all the links that we have there. We are also happy to answer any questions that you have there. And so, yeah, but we really want to make sure that this is a global movement of people that are mission aligned, that really want to make sure that women's health get to a point where women have access to better diagnosis, better treatments, and hopefully in 10 years, 20 years, we won't need to be here talking about this, because we'll get to a point where we'll have more research. I think there's a big opportunity here, and hopefully together we can really change the women's health landscape.
Wow. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, right? Because I think for me, it's more like giving everyone a sense of purpose. That with and then in AthenaDAO, we can build the world together. We can make the world a better place. We can make women's health worth it. We can make women find more purpose in living. We can make the life a little bit more easier, and then we can also contribute to the future of science, leveraging the blockchain technology. Of course, with AthenaDAO as a very very strong incubating hub for that education, for that development to thrive. And I want to just honestly appreciate you, Ines, for coming. You're a wonderful person. Thank you so much for making this discussion worth it. It's so beautiful, and I'm so glad to have you. Thank you so much. I'm very glad that we've done this.
Thank you very much. Very excited. Yeah, very excited to be here, and hopefully this conversation doesn't stop here, right? So we can actually either here or on Discord, we are able to keep on the conversation going and talk more about women's health and how much together we can do to change the landscape around women's health.
Yeah, thank you so much. Please do have a wonderful day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on Binance, and that's it about AthenaDAO. And of course, those of us on YouTube, we're so glad to have you join us. And then, yes, definitely, if you want to get into AthenaDAO, it's simple. I'll get over to the link right away. There you go, AthenaDAO.co/for hyphen women, and there's a link. You would have the description if you want to, get into the token auction. It's of course on the in the description, section of the YouTube video. You can get into the token auction, of course, position your funds, and of course, get into the future of science, right? It's about decentralizing it. And if you've got project, right, that are contributing their quota to this particular section, I think it's really, really important for you to definitely join us and then make your own, make your own share. Yeah, I think it's emphatic for us to just stay that. And I want to appreciate every one of you for tuning in. You all are the best, and of course, you all are the best. I say again, thank you so much. Till we meet again another time on Binance, and of course, my name remains El Giord, and of course, I'll remain your humble host, bringing to you the foremost gist and important analysis and information will get you informed within the crypto, the blockchain, and right in the crypto and the blockchain space. Thank you. Take care of yourself. To meet again. Peace and bye. I hope you all can see that. Let me turn on the video capture and make you see. Yep. So peace and bye.